Y'all ready for a mukbang? I got my little salad here. This is fairly typical salad. It's just some spring mix with some turmeric and ginger that's been pulverized with the S blade. And I put a little bit of dill and some cilantro and then a dash of olive oil and squeezed a lime over the top. So I'm pretty excited. It's actually a fairly good sized salad that I mixed in a larger bowl and then I kind of crammed it in here. So I'm so grateful for this food. It's very fresh, picked today. And so I just wanted to make a video and connect. Basically. So I'm usually up over there screaming at you. And I did that all week last week, but I was just like, I don't think I can do that anymore. This is kind of the pace that I feel like I'd like to go. It's a little frenetic, and that's just because the old patterning of the Life Regenerator, 10 years of just kind of playing a character and then, bop, 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 bop. And then what happens is as soon as I go on camera, in kind of that Life Regenerator mode, a whole host of, neurological memories come up. That was a big old piece of ginger. Ginger's just good medicine, to keep your gut bacteria healthy. This is like a microbiome salad, so I fuel myself with, the easily absorbable juices, the easily absorbable fruits. And then I feed the microbes a salad at night. My main priority, well, I was going to say hydration, but my main priority is oxygen. That's my number one priority, was just making sure that there's a lot of oxygen. So I like oxygen-rich food, which obviously the only food that's oxygen-rich is raw living food. And then, carbs got a bad name, but I think that's because people think donuts and bread are carbs, and then they get all blocked up and they have all the glyphosate and the preservatives and the dead bread, and they feel terrible. Obviously, right? So then they label all carbs as bad. Sugar's bad. No, your brain loves sugar, and that's why everybody that is on a no-carb diet that isn't eating enough fruit is always on the coffee. And then they're like, we'll have this coffee with all this oil, and then it's like God knows what else they put in there, and it's like, I just don't, I think that if, I'm not trying to be critical of anyone. Half the world is addicted to caffeine, but if you have a diet that, and most people have to have the caffeine because they can't get the energy in the morning. That's why it's important to eat live food and eat moderately, and then get to bed on time by shutting off the lights and the phone and the computer. Let the melatonin kick in and get a truly good night's rest. And with raw food, you can have energy all day without stimulants. That's one of the benefits of the live foods. So good. Perfect balance of flavor. Microphone. Crunch. Mmm. I just wanted to say thanks. Y'all have been a super support, and I'm just energetically graduating, because I kind of have to go, I wouldn't say backwards, but back to the old to kind of do the sale. And it worked. It was successful sale. I mean, what I do up there does work. There's a formula. And it worked. And it always works. And I've gotten better and better at it. And we did great, But you know what? I'd really like to say it. The problem is the YouTube is cutting off a lot of channels, censoring everyone, and then anything that in the algorithms that's like against pharmaceuticals or against Coca-Cola or against junk food gets kicked way down. So the lowest common denominator, which is the promotion of, toxins, junk, garbage, filth, sludge, slime, that gets all the play. So the lowest common denominator of like Jerry Springer consciousness, is what the masses are, getting attracted to. And then that's what Google feeds the people. So a miracle to have a little thing here that we have, but then, if I start really spitting truth, a lot of people are getting nixed, Just shut down. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really afraid to speak the truth. I'm not afraid of like the uneducated. They think that you're misinformed, Can't be some stupid mom Googling the detrimental effects of aluminum and the detrimental effects of polysorbate 80 and the detrimental effects of, antifreeze and MSG. What's that doing in there, And if you Google all that stuff and you're like, wait a minute, and then you decide, I don't think I'm going to partake of that medical procedure for my child, then you're the crazy wacko. It's like the narrative isn't always the truth. That's what we need to remember. The truth is saved for the select rare few, the truest truth, the most high truth of God. And if that's what you're aiming for, all this other stuff makes sense. But if your truth is rationalization, like the best diet in the world just so happens to be all the stuff that you love, donuts, chicken wings, whatever. And so our truths for the average man is whatever's convenient, but if the humble heart, it's like, Lord, set me free forevermore, that's a totally different program. That's like, dear God, give me your grace and show me how to free myself from my own ignorance. Instead of like, I'm so enamored of my thoughts. I have a PhD that I learned. I got my education from pharmaceutical companies, because that's what the education for our, the only acceptable healing modality, the allopathic medicine, which is the only, socially legal, medicine, so the allopaths get their education from pharmaceutical based information. So all these people, they get so upset because you're going against the status quo, and you're like, well, the doctors, I don't really trust them with my health. To tell you the truth, is they don't have the right education. They don't have a health education. They have a pharmaceutical medicine education. So they're not trained in health. They're trained in drugs and surgeries. And I don't know about you, man, but I've talked to too many hundreds of people that wish they didn't get that organ or that gland cut out. Can you dig it? So keep your organs and glands and clean them out with juicing and water fasting and fruit diet. It takes a little while. Could take years, because these fools jacked us up, and all that MSG, not only does it go straight to your brain, but it also goes to your pancreas. That's why everyone wonders, why is there type 1 diabetes? I mean, if you do enough research, you can track back everything to its source. And you'll find out that there's certain entities in society that, they get you in the beginning so that they can have you as a customer for life. Because if they can blast you with some stuff that's going to knock your organs, glands, brain, nervous system, immune system, microbiome, out of whack, and you're like, what is wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with my child? Or what's wrong with me? I was fine, joined the military, got a bunch of shots to make it cool, and I just ain't been right since. And then the veterans, they're all whacked, because they get tons of inoculations when they go in there. So this is all politically incorrect, but this is my area of expertise. See? And you can't really let it on too much, because you don't want to say too much, because every word through the processing of YouTube videos is calibrated. I mean, they're picking up all the data. I don't know how they do it. That's a lot of data, but then God has even more data than they have. They're only listening to this data right here. And I'm not paranoid. They process it, and then they send you a warning. This video is not suitable for monetization because you spoke bad about, the inoculations, or you spoke bad about pharmaceuticals. And then they hear all those words, and those are the key words, and it sends the red flags, and it knocks you down in the algorithm. And then if it's really over the top, you simply cannot monetize it. So everything is done in code, and it'd be nice to speak plainly, but it's just not worth. I'm kind of like, look, if you want to take that medical procedure and give that medical procedure to your baby, that's fine. But don't try to mandatory on me and my people, because we are smarter than you are. We know that health does not come from a chemical soup, whereas you might have. What I'm saying is, like, each individual constituent has been studied and shown to be harmful. Now, when you take all these individual constituents and you put them into one little medical procedure, one little vial, now all of a sudden it's safe and effective? Come on, man. People don't like this. They're like, they'll be like, I agree with you on everything except the vaccines, Dan. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. So you're saying you agree with me that toxic synthetic chemicals are bad? And they're like, yes. Well, then, so it's just the programming, the way the human mind works. Thankfully, I was always one of those people. I was like a little kid, and I was like, I ain't listening to you, fool. I never listened to nobody. I was just like, I'm going to make up my own damn truth. See what I'm saying? Because I could always resonate with these people. I was like, you ain't running on all 8 cylinders. All my teachers and the preachers and the Sunday school teachers, I'm like, y'all ain't running on all 8. I could see that as a little kid because I was a star child. It took me all these years to figure that out. Now I'm living the star child lifestyle. And at that, I'll take a star child bite. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. 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 I know you can hear that on the microphone. That's what some people's videos are. The crunchy chicken. That's all that people want. They just want to hear that crunchy chicken. It's like fetish. And chewing up all that food. So they put the microphone like, yeah. It's not really my thing, but mm-hmm. So how can you rely on the industry that made you sick in the first place? Didn't even know they did that. And then the oncologist, years later, the oncologist, he knows cancer is a combination of chemicals and viruses. Well, where did they come from? So if the oncologist had a conversation with the pediatrician, many things might come to light. But the truth is only wanted by a select few, and the censorship right now is, they are master manipulators of the narrative. And so people that otherwise would appear to have at least one brain cell in their head have had that one brain cell programmed with fallacious material, and they just suppress anything and call it unscientific. But it's not the truth. The science is on the side of the people who choose to live a natural lifestyle, to build natural immunity, and to have wild and natural immunity, because you can't outsmart God and you can't outsmart Mother Nature. We've been trying to do it forever and we've been failing all along the way. Look at the state of humanity, And so I'm thankful that I'm me. I'm not negative towards anyone. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm cool. It's like once you get to a point, you're just like, I'm cool, man. You can, you get to a certain level of consciousness and a certain level of awareness about what is true, like the infinite consciousness of the shortness of your existence here as a human being, and you just know you're going to be okay. Even if you died tomorrow, or anything that happens, you're going to be able to rely on that knowledge of the infinite, and you're going to protect your eternal soul from, just everything. All the karmas that you can build up, what you're trying to do is minimize your karma through diet, lifestyle, thoughts, the way you treat people, the thoughts you think, the habits you create, trying to build really good habits. Yeah, it takes some time, but if you develop yourself, it's worth every second. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Take me a year to get through this. At this rate, but all I wanted to do was say hi and thank you and tell you that, I know what it is over there screaming at you, selling everything. A man just got to do what a man got to do. That's all I can say about it. I could explain my whole life, and even the people that hate would be like, oh, okay, I see what you're trying to do, But you don't have to make excuses, ever, to anyone. You just do what you do, and that's good enough, And you can definitely manipulate the markets by being an expert marketer, or you can just come straight out and just tell it like it is, old school. That's what I like to do. Mm. Mm-hmm. This is just a really good salad. I like simple though, you know. I keep it really, really simple. Mm-hmm. Living foods wakes you up on every level. And cooked food puts you to sleep on certain levels. Not every level. I mean, you know, your microbiology does adjust. Mostly the white people, because they've been eating a lot of white bread for a long time. So the indigenous cultures, they're like, when they start eating the white man's food, they just fall apart, you know, because they don't have the microbiology like the white people. They can just, I don't know, man, they can live off white bread, but it kills everybody else, you know. When the Asian people and African people and American Indians, I got my DNA test. So I'm 2% African, 2% Asian, 2% American Indian, and then of course 94% white boy. Obviously, but it's cool, man. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite parts of the day is just a nice salad. Mm. It's really going slow. I mean, there's a lot in here. Watching the sun go down. It's a little later than usual when I eat, but I got caught on the phone with Christina. We always talk for a long ass time. I don't know, with Christina, she's just fun to talk to. I don't really have that much fun talking to that many people. But I knew it was, well, at least I caught her because I, you know, missed her the last few days, and I thought, I'll just try. And then I caught her, and then it was about an hour talk, and then so that's why I have a super late dinner. Mm. 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 Some mustard greens in here. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. It's too good to talk. Mm. 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 I mean, I guess these mukbangs were trending for a while. I haven't seen any in a while. I'm out of the loop, man. I quit watching vegan crap. I quit watching carnivore crap. I just like science. But I like scientists that are intelligent and not just intellectual. but scientists that are thinking more deeply. Mm-hmm. This is just the last push on the vaccine thing. They know they're losing, and they know how human consciousness works. They know that eventually the cigarette cause cancers is going to come up, but as long as they can get that money and sell that tobacco and keep that truth suppressed and hide it in tobacco science, and then finally it's just they have to take the cap off of the pressure cooker or the lid's gonna blow, so this is their final push, because it's an agenda, it's a sickness and death agenda. It's to create customers for life, but it's not just about money. It's about the love of suffering. And there is evil on this planet. There is good and there is evil. And neither one of them it's not really right or wrong. It's just, and each one creates the other. And that's the way it is on this planet, duality. And so the one side of the good is just more pleasant. It's more heavenly and it's more in tune with life because life is harmonious and works together. Then there's the other possibility, though, of just thriving off of other people's suffering. And psychopaths do that. And that's what they feed off of. Mm-hmm. Sounds so negative. I'm glad to know the truth, I'm glad to know that that's what's out there, that there's entities that are trying to make me stupid, trying to keep me ignorant, trying to poison me, trying to manipulate me with advertising and, these mantras and, these narratives that repeat over and over and over until finally it becomes gospel truth. But as soon as you start looking at the data, you're like, wait a minute, none of this makes any sense at all to common sense. It's like, it's like you call a guy in, he's an expert at getting rid of odors, right? So, you've got a cat poop smell or something. And he comes in, he's like, I got this dog poop that'll, take away the cat poop smell. Because the dog is worse, Instead of actually just removing the cat poop, removing the problem, you're going to, so if there's diseases are all caused by chemicals these days, most of them, that are just, inhibit biological functions. Now you're going to use more chemicals to suppress the symptoms of chemical toxicity. I mean, that's like trying to use dog poop as an air freshener for a pile of cat poop in the corner. When the simple thing would be to just get rid of the cat poop. Or, get rid of the chemicals. But that, detox, your liver and your kidneys detox, not deeply embedded, intramuscularly injected chemicals that just lodge themselves in your body, and you didn't either have the microbiome, the immunology at the time, the nurturing, the nutrition. And so these chemicals just get lodged there and stay there. And then throughout your youth, you have bursts of hormones and things like that. So you feel better at times. But as soon as you get kind of over the hill, if you haven't done the deep tissue detoxification for the removal of these chemicals and viruses, then they're going to really start to show up when you get divorced, or when that job is finally starting to take its toll on you, or one of your 27-year-old son dies, and your whole system just, and as soon as you lose that immune system or something, and then it it just goes flat. Like the immune system is fighting all the time those chemicals in there. And you can do good when you're young. That's why all these young people with all their health advice is great. But you wait. All your crappy ass vegan junk food and all your excessive animal flesh, it's all going to catch up. I'm not saying that all these things can't be had in balance, except the junk food. I mean, honestly, you might, I don't even care what anyone thinks, man. I would rather be a carnivore than a junk food vegan. Oh, God. No way, dude. You're going to be retarded as a junk food vegan because you're going to get a lot of chemicals, a lot of processed crap, weird oils, weird additives, weird glutens, and tree bark to make fake meat and all this stuff. At least the carnivore stuff is real. There's karma to that. There's karma to everything, And it's not like I'm condemning anyone to hell. It's just that when you get really awakened to all of the different energetics, you're not trying to hurt anyone in any way, and especially if you don't have to. Animal flesh does make your muscles tight because it builds the acids in there, and it gives you the stimulation to I'm going to get pumped up because it brings in the animal consciousness. So you're on Earth and you're like, if I get bigger, I'll get more of the mating, So animal products kick the animal consciousness in. And if that's where you want to roll, then I understand that. And I don't have any criticisms against that necessarily. But as long as you're aware that if you are a spiritual person, in the long run, this can slow you down. And you really there's just levels of awakening. And I'm not saying I'm an illuminated Buddha or anything like that. I'm just saying I'm aware of that wisdom and that knowledge, and I'm working to live in alignment with it, and I've seen the results of it so far. The lower karma diet leading to, just more illuminated states of awareness. In the subtle realms. I mean, you can't know what it's like to be on raw foods and then try some cooked foods and you see it, whoa, and you're like, how the hell do people do this all day, every day? Because it just like, especially when you have the opportunity to be on a really high vibrational diet, and then you eat some cooked food and it's just like, whoa. And you see that the whole world has no clue. And the live foods, it's gonna wake you up. It's gonna change your microbiology. It's gonna change your consciousness, and you got to go through this whole process of awakening. Because raw food wakes you up. Live food, it gives you life. It shows you life as life is, not life as you want it to be for your perception. You change your perception to fit a more expanded perception instead of collapsing the infinite world down into your small perception and fitting everything into that. You're trying to clear away the mud on your mirror and let the water settle. And so that's why I like the simple, plain diet that most people don't like. It's not exciting enough. But if your goal, I've already been so excited and traveled the world and rode my bike across and gone to countries and been with hundreds of women, blah, blah, blah. So all that excitement is not that exciting anymore. So I'm glad I went through all that stuff with the drugs and the women and the partying and all this other stuff. And now I'm just like, the most exciting thing is learning how to sit still. Like this morning, my meditation was terrible. I mean, it was like the worst I've had in months. My brain was everywhere except where it's supposed to be, which is right there. But see, that's the thing. You observe it, And that's all you do. You're like, wow, my mind is going everywhere. And it's not, what you want to learn how to do is just keep it where you want it. But it was, for some reason, it was just all over the place this morning, and it was very interesting. But I didn't judge it. I just witnessed it, and I wondered what it was. I think I was like, I don't know. There's just no way to quantify it. I just want to be a blessing to you, and also, like, just chill out. Like, I'm gonna have to do. I do see. I'm gonna go more into satsang. I'm gonna sit right here, legs crossed. It's just easier for me. There's no distractions. A little camera and my little microphone right here, so the sound is good, and I can just get the information out, And I do want to do definitely some more videos out in nature too. But out in nature, there can be distractions. There's rain, there's loud noises, any kind of thing. So inside the house here, over there at the little thing, and right here, it's predictable. This is my little safety zone where I can turn on a video for 36 minutes and nothing has predictably gone wrong yet. There's been nothing. I guess with the mukbang, you gotta finish your meal, but I'm only about a third of the way through here, I think. Like, 37 minutes in, 38. Have we learned anything yet, kids? Don't fall for the propaganda. That's all it is these days. I'll tell you, the truth ain't very popular. The real truth. And it's funny because all these dudes are like, I'm the police on the internet. I'm going to tell you about all these misinformed people. All these smarty pantses with their traditional education. Well, who designed the criteria, my young PhD Padawan? It's all the same old crap rehashed. But every once in a while, see, you learn from somebody who's like, the most important thing in health is fresh air. And the doctors and nobody gives a crap, and the hospitals are all sealed up just in case the deadly draft gets in and there's any kind of bugs and crap. It's got to be sterilized. It's like the last thing you want. When someone's sick, you want to get them dirty. That's the secret for everyone. Whatever your disease is, go roll around in the dirt, mud, go play in leaves, go into rivers, shake the tree branches and let all the dust come into your nose and sneeze for a while. Who cares? That just means your lymphatic system's overloaded. But just, you want to get the natural microbes into your body, not the artificial, everything's antibiotic. The hand sanitizers, the antibiotics, the pesticides, the GMOs. It's all just ripping everyone to pieces. Alcohol, fried oils. And then people on the internet are like, who's this quack talking about all this? What gives you the authority? Do you have any double-blind studies? It's like, I don't need double-blind studies, and I'm not sitting around waiting for no double-blind studies to tell me what common sense is. So I've got a real education from dudes who want to know the real truth. We're on the cutting edge. All my teachers are quacks. If you ain't learning from quacks, you're misinformed on the real truth. Because the narrative is to protect the interests of the corporations. Word. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My alarm for bed just came up. I'm going to go to bed and read a book. Some good books. I'm reading Sadhana by Swami Sivananda. So that's it. 700 pages. Straight truth. Waste no time. Go straight to the goal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Herbs, medicine, food for the microbes, the ginger, the beets, the carrots, radishes, burdock, fennel. Herbs, they love this fiber. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Tap soy. Mm-hmm. That's some mustard. This one's my favorite. It's little. I grew some of this, and it was just epic. I don't even know what it's called. It's just big, and the leaves get huge. They just get like giant, like bah, and they're just great for wraps. They're so tender, light, delicate flavor. Mm-hmm. I was hoping we could do this in an hour. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So usually take this big old salad and I go to the computer and I do research. And my top areas of research is cancer, vaccines, the two go hand in hand, and microbiology, the microbiome. And then as a secondary subject, I study soil microbiology, which helps you to tie in all the health benefits of, or it basically taught me how to regenerate my own gut microbiome to an incredibly high degree where you're calmer, more peaceful, have more energy, better digestion, And yeah, because when you can combine soil microbiology and human microbiology and the gut microbiome, man, you can really put two and two together, and you're like, okay, our biggest problem, all of our health problems, arise. And this is like a bold statement, Dan. I'd see this crap on the internet, Facebook, and stuff. It's just like I'm keeping up with the latest science as it comes out, because I stay up on my subjects. That's what I do. I do health, and I do consults every day, and I'm just helping people, and I'm learning. I'm fascinated by it, and those three are my top subjects. The detoxification happens on its own. The infinite intelligence does that, but what is it we're trying to detox, and what are the best ways to support that detoxification, to make it? And then, people don't even realize, dude, there's a lot of mental sluggishness out there on the internet. These guys are just like, but they're always touting, I have a PhD, I have a PhD, I have a PhD, I have a PhD on every Instagram post. It's like, so what? That doesn't mean anything when it comes to reality. It's like, I'm a doctor. Okay, so you know how to prescribe pills. I need to get healthy. I'm not healthy. I've taken thousands of your guys' pills. I'm strung out on them right now. They're killing me. Well, here's another pill. Not you, buddy. See? You can only go so far. You can only suppress your symptoms for so long before I still don't feel right. What do I got to do? Get healthy. How do I do that? Well, you pay your debt. Like, we all are trying to pay our debt. Most people never even do it. I'm trying to get and pay my debt in full. I'm going for it, man. I'm going to drop off soon and dive in deep, because I got a whole nother, actually three batches of the Black Smoke Tonic coming. I've only been able to afford one at a time, and then I got to save up for months to get another batch. But from this sale, thank you all very much, I was able to procure 3 full batches. Now I'm going to make some progress, because I've been getting this aluminum and fluoride out of my head. When you mix the aluminum and the fluoride, that's the worst combination. That turns to cement in your brain. But we can't talk about that. Just know the aluminum is over there. You're like, okay, what's toxic? This much is toxic for a human being, and then this is how much you get in like 52 vaccines. It's like, wait a minute. So you're saying this much is poisonous on your website for the CDC, and you want to give a little baby this much before they're 6 years old? You're not making any sense here. What are you trying to tell us? You're trying to make us toxic? I'm awake. I see through all of it, man. I see right through all of it. Not even like halfway through. Anyways, I talk about the vaccines because that's what's making everybody sick. Isn't that ironic? This is what cures disease. Actually, no, that's what causes it. They've gotten away with it pretty damn good. But the propaganda machine is in full force right now. So, the vaccines killed my nephew, sudden infant death syndrome, killed my brother, seizures, and almost killed me. But I survived, and then I just had to have a headache for 45 years. So, I've been in encephalopathy, vaccine-induced encephalitis, inflammation in the brain, immunoexcitotoxicity. So, I'll let all these people do whatever the hell they want to do, but you ain't coming near me with any of that business, because you are a white monkey in a lab coat trained by psychopaths, period. And I'm 100 times smarter than you when it comes to real health, period. The end. And I don't give a crap what anyone says. I'll let all these educated people, spout off all of their data. I'm coming from experience and common sense and desperation, They can all be cutesy. I need answers. And I found them. And I've been doing the work. And I am blessed beyond measure, because I'm coming up on the end of this thing, and the light bulb is going to turn on in my head. I know it. It's coming right around the corner, because I've worked so hard and I can feel it. I know what I need to do, and I need to focus every iota that I've got. And that's why I come up, bust out the sail, do what I gotta do. It's like I might not have the most smoothest operator on the internet, but I'm getting my ends met, and I'm helping people along the way that are available and open to really understanding. Everybody wants to think they're at the highest level, but I think that when you're talking about fasting, which is the be all end all, at the end of the day, in a fasting state, your body can do things that it cannot do at any other time. And it will go, and it will do it, and you will remove a lot of junk that, even with juicing, even on a fruit diet, there's a certain benefits to that too. But the water fasting and the physiological rest that goes along with it, and the ability for the vital force, once you take all the stimulants out, even juice and all the busyness, and you gotta lay there while your body heals itself, then you can get a lot done. Looks like we're getting kind of dark. Mm-hmm. I think we'll call that good. So yeah, the pigs over there making a bunch of noise. That's what was distracting me a little bit a few minutes ago. And the last bit of the light in the sky, it's pink and light blue, like a newborn baby. Protect them babies. That's what we got to do from these fools. The whole world is dumber than a pile of rocks, man. Yeah, just go along with it. It's like, think about this for a second. If a person took a few minutes to think about it, be like, this is wrong. This is all wrong. But that's just what's going on in the world. Coca-Cola and Kentucky Fried Chicken kind of consciousness world, And the most important thing is the light inside of you and your own very life, the life itself, which is God, that resides in you, as you, and outside of you. It's all a continuum, an infinite continuum. That is what the most precious thing is, not anything else. It's your connection to divinity that is the most valuable treasure. The divinity that's within you, because that's where the joy, the peace, the bliss, the eternal consciousness, and the infinite freedom once and for all comes from. So if we want to keep going over and over and over again, we can, but eventually you're going to be like, your soul is going to want to be free. You free your own, you free consciousness itself through yourself. And one more truly free consciousness adds to the freedom of the collective. So we definitely want to do everything we can to truly free ourselves from our ignorance. And we truly want to be educated with the Most High truth. And then when you are these other little things, you don't drink the tap water, you don't take the vaccines, you don't watch horror movies or invest in porn sites, you get all that crap that's just going to pull you down, and you just go and you just get rid of everything that isn't just right in alignment with the highest truth. Well, we did it. It took me an hour to eat half of my salad. Mmm. 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 Giant piece of turmeric. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for joining me on this video. This would be more of my speed, but I don't know if it's going to be as entertaining as the guy who just take your vegetables and take your fruits and clean out your colon. So hopefully you still dig it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Well, 59 minutes. Let's run it straight to 60 minutes. Be blessed. That's the main thing I want to tell my people. Don't fall for all this propaganda, because that's all it is. If it ain't somebody trying to guide you back to the infinite light to free yourself forevermore. So are those vaccines going to lead me to the ultimate freedom? Through Christ? It's like, well, what the hell are you talking about? Well then, no thank you. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't going to take me all the way and set me free forevermore, I don't want it. I don't want to read that book. I don't want to watch that movie. I don't want to take that pill. I don't want anything that isn't going to set me free for eternity. Can you dig it? Thank you all so much. And I will see you soon. 56, 57, 58, 59. Peace. Oh, you got to close this first, then you can close it.